Hello everyone. Last night I was in the hood and I would like to talk about it. I went to an event last Thursday and I sang and I got casted for this reality TV show, which I ultimately turned down because I felt like it was a little too trashy. Like it was one of those ones where they wanted you to fight on TV and be dramatic, and that's not me. I've never been in a fight in my life. I'm proud of that. I want to keep it that way. I don't believe that a woman like me should be fighting. That is the man's job. Yeah, so I didn't want to be in an environment where I'd have to like be in a house for 2 weekends and then do that. Sorry for my lack of captions, everyone. I tried, but I guess the video's too long, and because I filmed it on my phone instead of my camera, it was just hard for me to transfer the file, and it's really hard for me to like do my little fingers and edit everything the way I want. So this is what you're getting. iPhone intermission. And someone I met from that event like kept kind of pursuing me over the last week, even though I made it clear that I had a boyfriend. This is one of his places. But yeah, he kept pursuing me, kept calling me, and it like he did it under like a business pretense of, oh, like you're a star, like you're so great, I want to help you with your career, like you just don't have the right team, the right management. And he kept wanting to meet with me, so I finally agreed, and he was like just kept calling. And at first I was like, okay, like this guy is persistent, like I can respect that, you know, curiosity got the cat, like I just want to see what he has to say. And then I agreed to meet with him. In retrospect, I know all this sounds like I should know better, and I should. And he sent me an address, which was weird because he had tried to meet with me like the day prior, and I turned it down because it just like was too late at night for me. And he initially had said it was gonna be in Midtown, and then the address he gave me was like way down south. And I went to the place down south and I met with him, and I did Google it beforehand, but like the Google, it was showing like these nice houses. It's kind of hard to know if an area has been like gentrified or if it used to, I don't know, I don't have like the whole hood mapped out. And he was telling me about meeting him at the house, he was like, oh, I have a home office in the house. Yeah, like I have this whole setup where I stream and everything. Like he made it sound very professional. And it was a house, so I was thinking it was a nice house. I pull up to the house, right? There's nothing wrong with that house. But 2 houses down was a crack house. Like there were just people on crack in the front yard just hanging around, and it was like a converted church or something. And the guy, he told me later, like, oh, little baby lives like 2 neighborhoods down. Like he's 2 neighborhoods behind us. Like this place is active. And I don't want to talk too much shit about him, but I also feel somewhat justified in talking shit because I felt like I felt set up, and then I felt stupid because I should know better. He kept trying to make passes at me when I said over and over I have a boyfriend, and then he was trying to talk shit about like the boyfriend part, like, oh, your boyfriend, he should already see the greatness in you. I don't know why he's not trying to manage you too. Like just like trying to put doubts in my head about him. I have a manager now, so that was the good point of all of this, because I definitely spent like 2 days being depressed after all of that. So I feel okay shitting on this man. I didn't ask a lot of questions before I met with him. I just thought like, you know, let me just see for myself. And I'm glad I did, because it makes you wiser. You know, you put yourself through like risky situations. Sometimes it like goes really bad, and sometimes it just makes you wiser. And my intuition too of this first man, when I first met him, my intuition was right, and I just didn't listen. But anyways, I get in the house and there's already like a couple rundown cars in the yard, which is fine. But then I get into his house, then I get into this like home office he was talking about in his room, and I really don't want to shit on him because he was talking about like, oh, it took me a lot to like ask you over here and everything. But also in the back of my head, it's like, okay, but you also kind of want to fuck me too. Like, you made that clear. Over and over again, you made it clear. And over again, I made it clear that there was never going to be a universe in which that happened. But
I would also like to clarify, too, that me over and over again making it clear was when I had seen him in person. Like, I said it over the phone many times. And then... But he was one of those, like... So many men use this tactic, too, and they're always like, oh, I bet there's so many guys throwing themselves against you. Like, it's the music industry, and... But they act like they're on my side when they're usually the ones that aren't. So that usually gets me. And it gets me good.
anyways, this man's space, like, it was dirty. Like, the mattress was folded in half. There was no room for anything. And then he tells me he's 41. And then he tells me he's been like in and out of jail for some bullshit with his car and driving, and then his car got repoed, and just like bullshit after bullshit. And then he was very into music, like extremely into music, and he listened to some of mine. I stayed for like an hour and a half because I didn't want to be rude. But then after he touched me, because he was trying to get me up to do karaoke, and then he touched me, and I was just like, I got to take my dog out, goodbye, and I left.
And I also felt uncomfortable leaving sooner, too, because I had already seen this man's calendar for the next month. And I realized, there's probably a high probability I'm going to see him again in person. And there's probably an even higher probability that I will know more people than he knows. So I wanted to, like, leave and it not make a scene.
He was trying to do that like psychological thing people do where they praise you and then they cut you down at the same time. And he was telling me, oh, like, you're a star, like, I see it, like, you just don't see it, here's what you did right, here's what you did wrong. And then I told you I found out he's 41. He looked 20, he really did. I just didn't like look close enough to see the grays because I didn't think I had to. Like, he acted like he was in his 20s, which made sense the more I found out about him. But he was very driven. He was very into events, very into celebrity culture. Like, it honestly felt like he was a groupie, like an old groupie. And I felt like maybe he was trying to come across genuine, but how I felt was, this is somebody who's trying to attach themselves to me because they see something in me, and this is a dangerous situation for me to be in.
He had a small collection of books, too, and one of the books he had was my favorite book, The Art of Seduction. And, I thought to myself, I was like, this man has 5 books. Why would a 41-year-old man need The Art of Seduction? Because usually men, they'll go for the 48 Laws of Power. Like, they don't care about the seduction. Like, the seduction, that's a woman's game. And I have The Art of Seduction. That's my favorite book. But that's also how I make a living. And then it all made sense. This is what he does. He lies.
The more I got to know him, I felt like it was making me reanalyze how I saw music, because when I was first like very into music, very much trying to get out there, singing every chance I could, meeting all these like crazy people, when I was into it, I met all these other people, but it was never about the music for them. It was about the fame and then getting out of their situation. And I met people like him before. Like, I knew a couple photographers that were just like him, where they would track these celebrities and their events that I really couldn't give 2 shits about. Like, and they would track those events, show up to those events, get around all these people, feel important, and then it's like, but go back to what? I don't want to talk shit. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to talk shit because I've been at low points in my life, And I thank God I was not raised in extreme poverty like that, so I cannot relate to that. But I also grew up with 2 older sisters who were severely disabled that I had to take care of, that are now like in a home part-time. Like, I grew up in a very abusive setting already. And then this 41-year-old man is telling me, like, oh yeah, like, I live a lonely lifestyle, like, my dad doesn't like me, and I didn't have family growing up. And it's like, you're 41. That doesn't matter anymore. I'm 25, and I feel weird talking about, like, how I grew up. Because it's like, in my mind, it's behind me. In my mind, it's not an excuse for where I should be. And then when I saw the Art of Seduction book, and that was like one of his main 5 books, I was just, it's like, okay, I'm getting played right now. And he said something too. He was like, he sat me down, he's like, oh, I bet no one's ever talked to you like this before. Nobody's told you what I'm telling you. Nobody's cared enough to tell you the truth. And it's like, that's such a bullshit line. I've heard that so many times before. One of my producers that I worked with, who was trying to like basically do the same thing he was, said that same shit to me like 6 months ago. And everyone tells me, oh, you have like such a talent, like you can't give up, like you have to keep going. But people don't understand, like, on your way to get to wherever everyone thinks you're supposed to go, there's all these people along the way that try to attach themselves to you, and it's really like the crab in the bucket. And they try to attach themselves to you, but then it just ends up hurting you in the end. Like, what business do I have being friends with somebody who lives 2 houses down from a crack house, who's double my age, saying he wants to manage me, saying that, oh, I'm not Diddy, but I can get you connected. And I just like, I was just disgusted. Like, I could see all that. And he kept saying, it's my job to provide value for you. Like, he wanted to take headshots of me. I said no. He wanted to like sit down and write a song with me. I said no. And it kind of frustrated me too, because I showed him some of my music, and immediately I told him, I was like, the production's not the best. Like, I did this in my room a couple years ago when I didn't have like the greatest ear. And then he was showing me his music, and I was sitting there like, okay, yeah, your production's good, but there's no depth in here. Like, you want to talk about stage presence and dancing and all of that, but like, you don't have talent. Like, I actually have talent. Like, I know my weak points, but you can't just like sit here, talk about how great I am, and then shit on me at the same time to like lower me, to make it seem like you're above me when I'm sitting in a mess. And I would never let myself get there. And I understand like the mentality of, oh, like, this is what we're used to, like, we can't get better being in the hood, like it's so hard to get out, and there's only this way and that way. I disagree. I really do, because as long as you have connection to an internet, you can get out of any situation. Doesn't take that much, honestly. Like, if you wanted to move to a new city and start over, all you really need is 5K. And maybe you don't even need that. Maybe you just need a credit card with a limit of 5K and a prayer. That's what I did. I came to Atlanta with, by the time I got here, like 3K in my account. And I've made a good life for me now. So seeing someone who's like 41 still stuck in this cycle and expecting these celebrities and this like promise of major fame to get them out, it's just so stupid to me. And he kept saying to me, he's like, so what's your plan with this? Like, how serious are you about this? And I was just sitting there like confused, like, who signed me up for this? Like, I've already been down the road of like, oh, this is what I want, this is what I'm serious about.
When he was asking me too about how serious I was about music, I had this direct flashback to a time when I was working in a recording studio and this new girl came in, and she was like the golden child. Like, I was like the white, harder to market person. Well, not harder to market, but at least in Atlanta, a little harder to market. And then she came in, had a kid, was complaining about her lights being off. And then I remember her like confronting me, and she was like, oh, are you serious about this shit? Like, how far are you actually gonna take this? Like, and I was being paid to work there. She was just there for funsies, and she ended up getting a record deal, and she didn't do that much with it. And this was like a year ago. I had like a direct flashback to that when he was asking me, how serious are you about this? Like, what?
I'm trying to get my master's. I start school in a month. I'm paying for my tuition with that. So someone asking me how serious am I about music, like how serious am I about putting money into something that most likely will not give me a return back, and will only give me a return back if I already build a platform somewhere else like YouTube or TikTok. Like I literally have to do something else for there to be any return back on the music. So it just pissed me off. It just like this hood mentality of you only have a couple options to get out of here. And if you have an internet connection, you have access to free YouTube, and if you just listen to videos that support your delusions over and over, it's going to get you out of your situation. And I really cannot be around that energy. I had a conversation with some people too that I just feel icky around now, and we used to be good friends, and in a short time I feel like I greatly increased my income. I don't want to talk about how, but I increased my income, and then I got my plan together, and I have my direction together, and I'm really set. It's gonna take a lot more work, but I'm really set for the rest of my life. And it's just weird for people to be trying to like prey on my dreams of being a singer when it's not like a dream anymore. Like my dream right now is money. Like I would love to go back to the music, but not going back to the music for money. It is not like the right vehicle to get there. But talking about like the friends thing, I had a couple, and I'm still friends with them, but it's just weird. Like I was closer to them when I was in a worse spot, and that was comforting. But now it's like they got every excuse in the book to not be where they're at, and then the way they look at me, and then my judgment of these situations that I was like re-exposed to, it's like you think I'm too good for you, and then you resent me for what I've worked for, and you feel like you can't get it yourself when you've watched me day after day working. Just fucking pissed me off. Oh my god. Like I was talking to someone yesterday, and I just happened to run into them, and I went to get my oil change yesterday. Come to find out, they put the wrong oil in my car, because I went to this other location that scammed me. And when I went yesterday, I went like early, like before my mileage was due, because I saw like a flash of my oil light. And then I went there, and then they said that they put the wrong oil in my car, because usually I get the synthetic blend, but I've had my car for a while now, so it technically should, well, she was saying it should have like the full synthetic now, and that it should be like for high mileage. And she was saying it was dried up. And then when I was telling one of my friends about this, they were like, oh, like you probably have an oil leak, like this is really bad for your engine, like you might as well get a new car. You can afford it. Why don't you get a new car? You can afford it. I mean, might as well just get a new car. And I said, I'm waiting, I'm paying for my master's right now, and then I'll get a new car. But it's just like this weird resentment. It's really hard for me to describe it. Like you wouldn't get it unless you were in it, but it's just like this envy and like hatred that, yeah. And then it's also, I used to love lying to people and making them think I was like broke, but it really hurts my pride. I know it's better for me, but it really hurts my pride. So I'm okay with appearing broke, but I also just want like a little flash every now and then, because I'm not rich. I wouldn't even say I'm middle class, but I'm definitely not living next to a crack house and okay with that. God. Yes, this is my rant. And I feel like people in the music industry, they specifically prey on people in poverty with these dreams of fame and fortune, just to exploit them for either views, money, talent, all of that. I just don't agree with it. Man, I'd rather be with the snobby white people than be back down in the hood. And that's not my first time down there either. I feel like people keep thinking I don't know what's up, and then they want to like get me to visit there to see how I'll react. I grew up middle class, but I grew up in Tampa, and I lived like half a mile from the hood. It was a nice house. Everything else around it was pretty shitty. If you're from Tampa, you'll understand. If you're not from Tampa, you can just shut the fuck up. So it's just weird for me to like, for people to yes. Okay, goodbye everyone. Thanks for listening.